Hey, good evening, everybody. You got people lining up tonight. We're going to talk about severe weather threat tomorrow, and then there's a change in the weekend forecast. Saturday's looking wetter, unfortunately, and this is all because the main front's slowing down quite a bit. Some of the models have the rain lasting all the way through, say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon Saturday. Let's hope that's not the case, but it's still going to be cooling off, and we look forward to that. Anytime we get a cool down, first week of May, we'll take that any day. Let's see here. I'm going to add some of your comments up here. Go through some of these comments. Good evening. Checking in from Tony. Cindy's checking in tonight. What we're looking at tomorrow is really a low-end threat for severe weather. I think we're going to see a probably severe thunderstorm watch by noon or 1 o'clock, and then we're going to start to see the chance for some of these isolated storms initially to become severe, potentially with, I'm using initially and potentially a lot. Again, this is not a really big threat for severe weather for us, but it's enough to get your attention, and the timing's everything. When we talk about the timing here, kids will be getting out of school, you may be getting off work and running into these bigger storms. I think we'll see a chance for some of this dime-size hail maybe, and if we get a severe thunderstorm warning, it's capable of quarter-size hail or 58-mile-per-hour winds or higher. So given the fact the trees have leafed out, we've had a lot of rain last week, the soil, it's not quite saturated, but it won't take much to saturate it, so we'll have to watch that. But again, thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to get into this forecast right now. We're going to talk about what is going on in your backyard. Temperatures in the 70s. It's warm out there. We had a few rogue showers, mainly from Marshall County track north onto the west side of Scottsboro earlier today. Take a look at where the temperatures are really starting to drop. That's a line of thunderstorms coming into Memphis and western Mississippi now. That's not air mass related. However, you get far enough north, and that is all air mass related, and eventually that much cooler air is coming in. Yes, Terry, the cold front is coming in over the weekend, but it's coming in late. Here's your 3-day forecast. Strong storms tomorrow look likely. We're going to see about a ½ inch to an inch of rain in about an hour, and then rain late Friday, and then rain, I'm hoping morning showers. I'm kind of trying to will this into the morning because we talked about how nice the weekend's going to be just a couple of days ago. Here's the storm timeline for tomorrow. 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock roughly, out in the shoals, out in the red area, and I think we all have equal chances for thunderstorms. One thing about it is they may actually start developing right on top of us, and that'll give them the strength because they're going to develop in the atmosphere that's more vulnerable, so to speak, for these bigger storms, with taller storms, with some smaller hail, isolated damaging winds, very heavy rain, and frequent lightning. 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. along I-65 to 565 and up to Fayetteville, including all of the Huntsville metro area. And these will track east. I'm going to go hour by hour here with these in just a second. And then as we go to 4 o'clock hour, Scottsboro, Albertville, Gunnersville, down to Aniana, tracking even more to the east. Storm threats, mostly 45-plus mile-per-hour winds, some heavy rain, that's a high threat for lightning. There will be a lot of lightning. If you're going to be out on area lakes, be very mindful of these storms as they come in. You may want to have our 48 First Alert weather app, not only to give you lightning alerts, but just to check the radar occasionally, because these storms could sneak up on you tomorrow because the humidity is going to be really high, and there's a bit of haze out there, and there's smoke from the controlled burns, prescribed burns that we've had lately. Here's the latest guidance. This is the first look I've had of it since my dinner break. It shows pretty much the same thing around 1 o'clock to 1:30. Scattered showers and thunderstorms firing up really right along I-65. So this is a little earlier than the timeline I gave you. I still think we're going to see the strongest storms during that timeline. These will move off to the east-northeast. One thing that may happen is we may rain cool the atmosphere a little bit with this initial round of thunderstorms, but there's still time for more of these storms to fire up. This doesn't look as bad as it did earlier, if I had to say anything, but we're still looking at scattered thunderstorms with very heavy rain here at 5 o'clock, where you see the purple areas. That's where the wait a minute, a fake account replied to a comment on one of his posts. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to check that out. But anyway, we are continuing to monitor the threat for these stronger thunderstorms. This has it moving out of here by about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. So if you have evening plans Thursday, it's all going to be a matter of, I wouldn't cancel anything. It's all a matter of the timing and watching the radar and determining when things are going to move out. I know some of you have some events going on this Thursday evening, ball games, things of that sort, may be rained out. Here's the satellite tonight and the radar showing those thunderstorms moving into Memphis. These are not severe. One thing that may be leading to perhaps earlier arrival of the showers and storms, and one thing that we're going to see is this boundary will continue moving east tonight, and that may actually create a boundary for those thunderstorms to develop closer to 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So I think the earlier they develop tomorrow, the less likely we're going to have severe weather. And even though the Storm Prediction Center has increased the threat, man, I'll have to check that out, another fake Brad Travis account. But the Storm Prediction Center, I think they're off on this one. I don't think it's a real slight risk. I think this is marginal all the way. Again, they've got this slight risk from here. We could talk about the Storm Prediction Center this year's performance for an entire hour, but we won't. We won't go down that rabbit hole. Here's your rain on the roof forecast tomorrow. We peak out with the showers and storms in the afternoon, early evening. They're out of here probably, speaking of early evening, by 7. And then Friday, we're going to talk about Friday and Saturday. We're probably going to have to increase those chances coming up here. But yeah, good soaking rain coming at them. Good for those gardens. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about your weekend coming up here in 1 minute. All right, now we talk about the weekend. Storms tomorrow, again, possibly severe if you're just joining us. It looks like a low-end hail threat. There will be some hail, I think. And then an isolated damaging wind gust over 45, maybe 55 miles per hour. Heavy rain and lightning will probably be the bigger threats tomorrow. So let's get in and talk about your weekend. And this is going to be Friday, Saturday. Sunday, I don't think there's any question about Sunday. It's going to be really nice. One thing that's happening, though, the front that we were expecting to move in about 9 o'clock Friday night may not move in until 9 a.m. or later Saturday morning. So here's how we get things going. Scattered showers and thunderstorms roughly between 2 and 5:30, and this has changed quite a bit too. And then the main thing comes in late at night. This will be after midnight, so early Saturday morning. Kind of floats to the south and east. A few thunderstorms, could see some gusty winds and lightning from this. So over the next few days, we could see 2 inches of rain in some areas. I think the 2 inch will be fairly isolated, more numerous half-inch to inch rainfall totals out there. And then as we get into Saturday, I'm hoping all this is going to be out of here or start getting out around noon for personal reasons, right? But that's a big change from yesterday. And all week, the front has been coming in Friday night, but now the brakes are being put on. So with that, it looks pretty wet early Saturday. I think the Kentucky Derby might be safe from the rain, but they may see some drizzle up there. If you headed up, I think it's Lexington, actually Louisville. I think it's Louisville. Louisville, yeah. That's exactly right. So as we go to 4:30 Saturday, the model still has rain coming in. However, everything's sped up with this tomorrow's event, so maybe we'll get this to scoot up about 4 or 5 hours, and that'll help us out. As we get later into the day, into the evening hours, it cools off. Take a look at the 10-day forecast. After we get past the alert day tomorrow, the thunderstorm chances Friday, and then again Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I've just called this Chamber of Commerce weather. and it's just going to be beautiful once it arrives. I mean, Saturday will be cooler, but it'll be raining in the morning, it looks like. And then 68 Sunday, morning low of 47. That is going to feel fantastic, considering we're just about ready to turn the corner here on spring and start getting more of a summertime weather pattern coming in upon us. So we'll watch that. But again, we'll keep you up to date tomorrow throughout the day with scattered showers and storms. And we're going to have thunderstorms Friday and maybe even early Saturday as well. But some welcome rain here as we get on into it, because at some point in time, the rain shuts off and we don't see as much and things dry out quickly. You can see on this 10-day forecast, we may go 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 next week with no rain at all. So we're going to need all the rain we can get. Unfortunately, some of that may fall on your plans early in the weekend. You guys have a great night. I'm getting ready for that 10 o'clock newscast.